Hello, world. What's up, everybody? This is Dave with the Fight Bananas podcast. How's everyone doing out there? Guys, man, so excited for this show. We usually have badass fighters on the show, female or male, UFC, Bellator, PFL, don't matter, you know what I'm saying, amateur, pro, next level fighters. But today on the show, we got a first-round management agent. We got my main man, Maurice Blanco. He's doing a lot of things behind the scenes, and I love it. It's been a whole year, the 2019. I've been saying it's FRM for life. That's me. It is what it is. You with us or you against us. I'm just loving what First Round Management's doing. They just have the best clientele in the world, especially in the mixed martial arts. I'm talking about Georgie Masvidal, John Jones, Showtime Pettis, the list, guys, Derek Lewis, Jillian Hart. It just goes on and on. My main man, Eric Showtime Shelton. Gosh, love it there. We're talking about Kilburn. We're talking about Mike Beast Boy Davis, Brock Weaver. Okay, I gotta stop. All these names I'm dropping. I'm sorry for dropping them, all right? But guys, we're about to have Maurice on the show. So much to talk about. I would love to hear his stories. I'm a big fan of Jerry Maguire, so I would want to know what's his Jerry Maguire moment and so much more. So this is the Fight Bananas podcast. Definitely subscribe to the Fight Bananas YouTube channel on all podcast platforms. And let's have a good morning with Maurice Blanco. All right, guys, on the Fight Bananas hotline, my main man, Maurice Blanco, FRM. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, brother. How about you?
Man, we're doing awesome, brother. We grinding. We getting it done day in, day out. We know how, you know that, the FRM.
100%, brother. Always trying to get things done for our clients.
Absolutely, man. Let's just start right there. What a 2019 year for you guys. Unbelievable. Probably just mind-blowing when you think about it from the beginning to now. But we got around a month left. Just can you put a bow on 2019 for us?
Yeah, man, it's been a great year for a lot of our guys, not only for guys like George Masvidal and John Jones and Tyler Woodley and guys like that, but really, guys all the way down from the top to the bottom of our organization. Everybody has been progressing. At the end of the day, guys that are getting closer to the UFC, guys that are in the UFC getting closer to ranked, guys that are ranked getting closer to a title. And guys like George Masvidal taking it from people who thought that he was down and out to now that he's the biggest and most talked about guy in the world. I think that at the end of the day, it's not really for us. It's not really something that wasn't expected. This is what we expect out of ourselves. This is what we expect out of our work to get this job done for our clients, to put them in the best position to succeed. And then once they get there, it's really just about them getting the job done, and for the most part they have, and you have to give all credit to them.
Yes, sir.
At the end of the day, the fighter has to go into the cage and the fighter has to do his job, and when they do, at the end of the day, we have all the connections and relationships and resources to get it done for them.
Absolutely, man. I loved how you said that. I love the, it's amazing. I don't know if you, man, us here at Fight Bananas, huge fans of Georgie, big fans of Masvidal, but I love the future, man. I love the new wave. We're talking Impa Kasanganay, Jillian Savage Robertson. We're talking about Showtime, and there's so much more underneath. You know what I mean? I love the new wave. How do you guys research, or how do you guys scout the next wave, the 2022 title fights in the UFC?
Well, I think in reality, you got to really look at, each client. Every fighter is an individual, and each one of those individuals takes a different level of management, a different type of management. A guy like Impa Kasanganay came to me, and, we essentially looked at what he has done already in the short time that he's been in this game. And we said, hey, look, you already got this. You already have the potential. You already got the skill. Let's align together. Let's get the connections, our connections. Let's get our relationships. Let's get our resources, most importantly, and put them into you. And helps escalate your career and help escalate everything in and outside of the cage. Because at the end of the day, brother, it's not just about what goes on inside of the cage. Because for the most part, what goes on inside of the cage is negotiated within a couple of days. In reality, what's most important is what's going on outside of the cage. Just making sure that everything's taken care of for him on a daily basis, and making sure that we're bringing in sponsors. I think that at the end of the day, brother, it's really, we're talking about the new guys that have come in and the new up-and-coming guys that we have here at First Round Management. I'm really, really excited about all of them, because in reality, once they get to the point where we're aiming to take them, you guys are going to see a really new level of talent coming to the UFC, because all of these guys that have been training now and have been dealing with our resources from such a young part of their career don't have the same, they have a much better scope of where their career could end up than the guys that came to us when they were just already in the UFC and stuff like that. Because when you're bred from the bottom to the top, it's much different. I think that guys like Impa are really going to benefit from that 100%.
Man, wow, I love that. You kind of did. I got like 5-6 things here for you, and you definitely nailed on one of them. So I'll bring it up right here. How important, how vital is the relationships with promoters and matchmakers? I'm talking about the UFC all the way down to some regional scenes to make sure that you got everything all locked in.
I think it's just about treating everything with integrity, making sure that they can trust you. At the end of the day, if I'm going to promotions like LFA and if I'm going to promotions like Island Fights and WXC, I'm going to go to them and I'm going to be 100% truthful with them. I'm going to make sure that my clients are staying genuine with them. I'm going to make sure that we're handling everything with integrity, because I think the most important thing that most promoters will tell you, all the way from Mick and Sean to Mike Hogan and Rick Chow to everybody in the business, they're going to tell you that we don't like to deal with guys that don't do things the right way. And that's one thing about first round management, is that we're always going to do things the right way. We're never going to tell you something that you just because you want to hear it. We're going to tell you exactly what it is. And, if it's a bad thing or if it's a good thing, it doesn't matter what the result is, as long as we know that we're definitely, keeping everything 100 with you, and we're making sure that you can trust us at all times. That's the biggest thing. Is integrity, I think, is the biggest thing, and I think it's a lost thing in this MMA world.
Right.
And that's why we become so good at it, is because of the fact that we do everything with integrity. We make sure that we're doing right by others, doing right by the promoters, doing right by our fighters, and just a mutual understanding that we work for our fighters and our fighters want a certain thing, and as long as we're providing them with the information that this is what they want, this is what we need, everything's going to be good. At the end of the day, not every promoter is going to want every fighter, so we have to understand both sides of it. We can't just side with our fighter and really say no to everything else. We have to make sure that we're looking at both sides and understanding both sides, and really trying to do whatever we can to have a good working relationship with everybody, so that way we can we can definitely provide the best service for our clients.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like you said, and it's just, I miss those old school days, man. You look a man in the eye and a handshake and stuff gets done. It's just not like that anymore. You know what I'm saying?
No, sir.
And you kept on talking about different promotions, and Sergio Pettis went to Bellator a couple months ago, and I kind of heard some buzzings about it, and they just said that's the best for Sergio. And I love how you say, you keep on saying that what's the best for the clients. Do you guys have a goal? Is it UFC, or is it no? If it's PFL, if they're paying our guy, right?
Whatever the client needs. If the client, let's say the client isn't happy with the UFC, we will exercise our right to go look at other promotions. We're gonna talk to other promotions, and we're gonna find the right fit. You look at guys like Demetrius Johnson. That's a perfect example.
Yes.
ONE FC was the perfect fit. He loves ONE FC. He loves being over there. He lives and breathes it, and he's really able to, he feels he has a much better relationship with ONE FC, so really it's just about, there's certain, like I said, every single client is an individual, and every single one of those individuals takes a level and a different type of management. Whether that's doing one thing or the other for them, it's really just about putting them in their most comfortable and best position. Because at the end of the day, you can make as much money as you want in this business. If you're not happy where you are, why are you there?
Right.
So we try to do whatever we can to make sure we provide the right make sure that we're putting our client in the position that they want to be in, not what we want. What we want is irrelevant, because at the end of the day, we work for our clients, and our clients are the most important thing, and their needs and wants are what we have to do. That's our job.
Right. Wow. Anyone that's listening to this, and we have a ton of fighters on weekly, and we know we have a lot of them listening to this show. Man, they got to be falling in love with you, Maurice. Maurice Blanco, First Round Management. We're loving everything we're hearing. One of my favorite movies of all time, Jerry Maguire. It was my favorite movie for 30 years. When did you have a Jerry Maguire moment? Remember, he's listening to Free Fallin'. He had made that big deal with the #1 draft pick. Did you have that one moment they're like, man, I nailed exactly what I wanted for my clients. This is exactly what my clients want, and I got it.
I feel like I've had several.
Oh, that's good.
There's certain situations, yeah, bro. You have guys, and I'll kind of point out, a couple of specific ones. We have guys like Justin Willis and Eric Shelton and Jillian Robertson and Jeremy Kimble is one that people don't even really recognize. That these are guys that when I call somebody and I tell them, hey, we got you into the UFC, or, I send them a text, hey, call me urgent, UFC. And then when I call them and I tell them, and they're extremely happy, and I can just hear the happiness in their voice, that every single time that happens, that's a moment for me. Whether it's the UFC or Bellator, whatever the case may be, just making our clients happy and hearing that is kind of one of the main reasons why I got into this business. Obviously, I grew up loving sports, and obviously there are business motives behind it. But one of the biggest things are the day-to-day relationships that we build with our clients, and being able to provide that happiness for our clients, with knowing that they're the ones that put in the work, but they aligned with us and they really, trusted us to handle their career for them. And, knowing that we got the job done that we said we would get done is extremely, it makes us extremely happy. It makes me extremely prideful, because I really believe that when somebody trusts you with their career, when somebody's telling you, hey, this is what I need from you, and this is what I really need. I've been working for this my whole life, especially with MMA fighters. You take a pride in knowing that, you got the job done for them, and it makes you real happy to hear that, or to see and hear really that how happy they are and how happy it makes their family, and really just changing their lives. Because, obviously when you're on the regional MMA side, you're not making, the money that you would like to make, So a lot of them struggle at that point. A lot of them have to work jobs. So for them to hear that they can drop all of that and just focus on their careers, sometimes it's real emotional, and it's real nice to be able to be a part of that.
Oh, 100%. I know exactly how that feels now, man. This past week, Jacob Killer Kilburn, Dean Toole and I had that phone call with them, that surprise phone call telling them UFC. It was amazing, man. It was just hearing him, that was his life goal. Great man, great family man, everything like that. But he just wanted to fight in that octagon, and now he's doing it this weekend.
And I'm really happy for him. Yeah, I don't think people understand how important that call is.
Right.
How important it is for somebody to hear, you're in. You got it. You got your shot. And it really is kind of, and I like to compare it to guys that get drafted in the NBA, the NFL, the MLB. This is their draft. When they get put into a major organization, that's essentially that they've been drafted by that particular organization. So it's a really big moment. It's a really, and obviously with Jacob, that's awesome. I was really happy to hear that he was getting in, and really happy to hear that he's going to be able to showcase who he is this coming weekend.
Absolutely. I know you're super busy. I don't want to take up a lot more of your time. I got a couple more questions for you. This is Maurice Blanco, FRM. Follow my main man on Instagram, Maurice Blanco 1. You got a really like a funny or a story, an unbelievable story kind of behind the scenes that will just like our listeners here at Fight Bananas will be like, oh my goodness, wait, John Jones had to, take a taxi cab to his press conference. Do you have anything like that?
Well, essentially, I think that, there's certain things that you just fall upon, and I think that I mentioned him earlier, Jeremy Kimble, a certain situation that's kind of like, I wasn't expecting that. Jeremy was in a position where he was, I believe that he was 17-8. He wasn't somebody, or 17-6, and he wasn't somebody that really was being looked at by major organizations, and then, it happened to have a particular situation where somebody dropped out of the Colorado card that year, and he was ready, and he stayed ready, like we told him, always stay ready, and he got in, and that was one of the things that we were never expecting that. So me and him had a bunch of laughs. I know it's not to the extent of John Jones' cab, but it's something that, me and him had a lot of laughs about, because neither him nor me were expecting him to get into the UFC, especially in the way that he did.
Right.
We were really happy for him to get in there, and he was able to accumulate a couple of bonuses, and although his time was short there, he made good money. He was able to live out his dream, so that was probably one of the moments for me that was pretty crazy, because we weren't expecting that at all. It was literally a spur of the moment, out of nowhere thing, and that was really cool.
Oh, absolutely, man. That's amazing. It makes stories make fights, stories build careers. That's awesome. We just talked about last couple of days, the Violence Queen, signing with FRM. How excited are you to have Andrea a part of the team?
No idea how excited I am. I really, when we were initiating conversation with them, and we were really speaking with them and really getting an idea of what they were looking for, we realized that we were a perfect fit. And, once that time came, the time came that they were going to sign and they were going to basically put their careers in our hand, we really said, okay, this is the time now. And I was super excited, because this is somebody who I believe to be one of my biggest signings. And, I really believe that she has a lot of potential. in and outside of the cage. And inside of the cage, I believe that she's one of the more talented individuals in that division. And I believe that she's just been, she had a couple hiccups here and there, but I believe that she is somebody that's going to be at the top of the division very soon. She has a lot of potential. She's one of the best strikers, if not the best striker in the division. And I truly believe that sooner or later she's going to be at the top fighting for a title. And she's somebody that we are extremely, extremely excited to have on the team and really excited to work for, because obviously she's somebody who's highly talented and somebody who's loved across the MMA world. And we truly believe that she's somebody who's going to be able to provide that kind of like we were talking about earlier, that next level of talent for
right.
FRM. She's at the top of that. She's one of the people that's really going to provide that level of we are the best and we represent the best, and she's one of those people.
I'm thinking MSG show late 2020. She might be in that flyweight title match. You never know. I see humongous potential.
That's a great idea, and I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Two last questions for you that kind of coexist with each other. One, what is one of your personal goals for 2020? Something that you would like to achieve, or something you just want to maintain the momentum that you guys have and you have there at FRM. And then 2020, I know you have so many fighters, football player, everyone underneath. What's a person, guy, girl, that maybe someone doesn't know? We shed a lot of light on Impa Kasanganay, but not a lot of people maybe knew him before that. Is there another fighter part of your roster you're like, guys, give them 10 months, give them 8 months, give them 2 more fights? I know Johnny over there in Bellator, he's a machine. I know there's so many. Can you throw some light on one or two? And what's one of your personal goals for 2020?
I think in regards to the fighter, I think there's a few. There's a few guys that not many people really think about, and obviously Johnny Eblen is one of them. That's a guy that is
love that kid. Love that kid.
Highly touted, and to be as highly praised as he is at a gym like ATT, that goes to show you what he's going to be and what the level of potential that he has to become a serious force in Bellator and in other promotions when the time comes. I think outside of him, I think Spike Carlisle, 8-1, coming off of 2 first-round knockouts. Kevin Worth, another guy who's 8-1. There's a lot of guys that we have on our roster. We represent about 170 fighters total. I think maybe 40 to 50 of them are in major organizations, but the rest of them, are fighting, fighting for their lives essentially. So we have a lot of guys, from 3-0 to 2-0, 1-0 to amateurs, all the way up to guys that are right about to get to a major organization that are extremely talented, and all of them have the potential to get to that point where they're fighting for major organization and really working strides in there, because a lot of our guys, and like we said, brother, we only represent people that we believe are people that work hard and people that have integrity and people that have a lot of potential, and I believe that they really do. All those guys are really guys that are really at the top of the list in regards to regional side, and obviously Johnny and Bellator is somebody who we have a lot of hopes for. He's somebody who has an extreme amount of potential. And from what we've heard from the coaches at ATT, he is somebody who's going to be a serious force when the time comes for him to really show out his abilities.
Oh, that's the gospel right there. That he is an absolute stud. My main man, we're so excited for you. Appreciate you giving your time. Love having you on the show. Yeah, man, we're FRM really, really strong here on the Fight Banana squad. So we'll keep on. That. Yes, sir. We'll keep on pushing the word. And I'll text you some names. There's a couple of names on the amateur and the regional scene that big time future, and I'll definitely stay in touch with you, my man.
100%, brother. We're always looking to work with whoever we can to help get them to the point that they want to get to. At the end of the day, we feel like we're middlemen essentially. We're just the guys that have the relationships and the resources to help get guys that have been working their whole lives to the point that they want to get to. We work for. I think that is kind of misconstrued. I think it's misunderstood in the world nowadays, where managers think that the fighters work for them. It's on the exact opposite. We work for our clients. So what our clients want, what our clients need is what we need to get for them. We have a bunch of guys here in the office. We are the biggest agency in MMA. 15 guys down here in Miami, another 10 to 15 across the country, and really everything that a fighter could possibly need will be given to them, and whether it's something that they want just for the moment, something that they want because their kid wants it, or whatever the case may be, we're going to do whatever we can to provide our clients with the best possible representation. That means in the cage, outside of the cage. And I don't just mean outside of the cage or sponsors. I mean everything, day-to-day stuff.
Right.
You know, really, if you need to move, if you want to move down to ATT, if you want to move somewhere just because you want to, you know, we're going to help you in every way, shape, or form. If you're somebody from out of the country that needs help with Social Security, with your phone, with finding a place, whatever the case may be, we are a full-service, hands-on agency, and we are the biggest agency in MMA. And all of our clients really stay with us because of the fact that we let our work, you know, do the talking.
Right.
We're not here to talk all the stuff in the world. We're not here to tell you exactly what you want to hear. We're here to really provide you with the right information and really just provide you with all the resources and connections and relationships that you could possibly want in a management group.
Man, so excited, man. What a great time talking to you, Maurice. I think I got to come down there. ATT, Super Bowl weekend, February 1st, Fort Lauderdale. A lot of stuff's going on. So when I come down there.
Whenever you want, brother.
Yes.
Whenever you want. You always got a place to come over here. We'd
Appreciate
love to have you. We'd love to see you.
Appreciate you, my man. And the first drink is on me. I got you.
Always, brother.
All right, man. Stay safe. I'll talk to you.
Have a good day. Yeah.
There he is, guys. I'm telling you, Maurice Blanco, FRM, First Round Management. If you don't know his name, you will. You will. 2020, I love talking to people behind the scenes. He gets all the jobs done, man. He's making moves that, you guys see fights happen. You guys see Sydney Outlaw in the co-main event of Bellator. You're like, oh, wow, that's awesome for Sydney. You know, these are the guys that are doing it. FRM is getting the job done. They deal with so many fighters and so many budding superstars. You think 2019 was good? You think 2019 was BMF? 2020 is going to blow your minds away. Big fans of everyone over there, First Round Management, especially Maurice Blanco. Cannot wait. Huge things are happening. Fight Bananas community, big things are happening here. Download and subscribe on all podcast platforms, and make sure you subscribe to the Fight Bananas YouTube channel. We're definitely going to pass the word. Big thank you to Maurice Blanco. Follow him on Maurice Blanco 1 on the IG, on that Instagram. Hit up that Fight Bananas official. Check out me at David Van Auken on the IG. We're always throwing out content. Have a good day. Continue success. Stay blessed. And we'll talk to you guys real soon.